I said go live. Oh, yeah, now we are. Lead Gen series for course creators. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We just came off of a live that we were doing. So if you did catch it, we did 1 through 6.
Yeah.
And we ran out of time. So we're finishing 7 through 10 for these little tidbits for you. My name is Tessa. I'm a marketing strategist, and this is Kai, business coach, and we're with Move to CEO, and this is MoveTV. So we are going to recap really quickly the lead gen ideas that we gave for course creators, but this applies to anyone who's an expert. Anyone. Well, it's anyone. But if you have a course, there are some tidbits that were specific to course creators.
If you are selling training information, then this is for you.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Perfect. So create high value content and again, go back to the video. If you guys, it should just be right like previous feed item here. Optimize video titles and thumbnails. So make them look awesome and make sure that they catch people's eyes and you have good hooks. Leverage SEO or the popular person's name. You'll just have to watch the previous video to understand what we're talking about there. Engage with comments and subscribers so that you can turn those people into followers. Collaborate with influencers, and then offer free mini courses or resources. And so now we're on number 7. So do you want to take that one, Kai?
Yeah. So it is similar, I'd say, to number 6, which was the offer free mini courses or resources. And this is the creating a lead magnet. Now, why are they similar? Because, a free mini course could, and any type of resource really could be the lead magnet. And I would say it doesn't always have to be free. So we started talking about that and we didn't really deep dive into it. But, one of the reasons that we don't always don't create like a bunch of free stuff, just understand what is kind of the end goal. Like where are you trying to get people to, that what are they paying for? And then what's the information highway, right? Like that they would need. It's either something that they need to be prepared to buy this bigger thing, or it's something that will help them to be successful in buying this bigger thing, right? So it's the information, the gap. It's trying to fill in this gap here of knowledge, of preparedness, to make sure that they are able to then be successful in your course or whatever it is that you are assigned, that you're coaching or whatever. That's kind of when we think about what that lead magnet is, what that mini course is, whether it's free or paid. That's what we want to talk to you about, right? Or that's what you want to talk to them about. But the other thing is, one of the reasons I don't say make a bunch of free stuff is because you can, like, if you want to, you feel called by God, like, hey, I just need to provide all these free resources for people, like, go ahead and do it. Like, that's awesome. But if this is your business and not necessarily your ministry, and this is how you're feeding your kids, keeping a roof over your heads, taking care of your dogs, like all those things, then, you need to really steward your time well. Okay. You do, right? So we are all for like giving back, right? But at the end of the day, you are accountable to not just your clients, but to everyone that you take care of, right? And you can take care of your clients better if you have resources to take care of them better, right? And so just think that through. I know that some people don't like what I'm saying right now, and that's okay. That's okay. Let it sit, let it resonate, pray about it. You do you.
Well, I think that the other thing about having so many things, if you're giving away a lot, it's hard for people to understand the path they're supposed to be taking. So, and we're guilty of this because we've given all kinds of freebies. They're all over the board. But when you have a proper, customer journey, it's going to make more sense. And that ends in the place that you all understand. Like the worst thing is to have your clients come in and like, they have no idea what exactly you teach, which again, we've been guilty of. We've had people that are like, what? Oh, that's what you do. I didn't even know how you make money. That was our team member. So make sure that your offers, these lead magnets, they actually start with the end in mind, and you can work through the reverse model. What is it that people love about the part that you get paid for? And then go back a step, and you're taking out the things that are most likely to end up in the place you want them to go. And then for sure, have a real journey. That's like a side note. That's a bonus item.
And so, when we're talking about this, and, And I'm just going to use this moment to kind of coach you through this for a second, because if you are providing a ton of free resources, not because you feel called to, but because maybe you're scared to sell, I just want you to think through that and really understand what's the actual problem that needs to be addressed there. So that's just the small little coaching moment. Now, okay,
I
with
love
that
Kai's
said,
coaching moments. I think she was like straight to my heart. Tessa, you can get paid for what you do.
yeah. Well, and here's the thing is, so what, one of the things that I wanted to bring up, and that was a great segue, thank you, Tessa, is why do we have some smaller paid items? Well, what you're doing is you're filtering through. This is something I learned from one of the workshops we purchased, right? They talked about this, and it is something that you're filtering through the clients who would actually, like, if they're not willing to pay this small price, they're probably not willing to pay this big price. Right. Now, if you're already at like a huge price, you may not have a smaller offer, and that's okay. So you just have to understand, what is the model in your business? How are you doing it? Like, where do you stand in terms of how big is your community? Do they need a taste of you? Do they already know you well? Like, really understand what is that journey. And then you'll know, do I need to have all of these freebies? Do I need to have small paid offers? Or can I have this middle ground? Can I have this big high ticket without doing any of this stuff? All of it, your model depends on your clientele and how you're already positioning yourself.
And a little bit on what you want to be doing, right? So if you're in a group environment and you really want, if you're doing one-on-one and you want to move to a group environment, like you can plan that in, right? If you want to have some done DIY pieces that they can just go do and they don't require you, that's passive income that you just are, somebody's buying it. Awesome. It doesn't take me any extra time. So
can I just say on that?
Yes.
On Tessa's DIY, like, remember what we just talked about, is that filling in the gap. So for example, we do content strategy for people and we create their content, right? But a lot of times they come to us and they haven't figured out what their brand voice is, so that would be something, either a paid or free DIY type of course where they can go through that so that they are then ready to work with us.
Because if they don't have that, it's really hard for us to do the part that we do of content creation for them. Awesome.
Sorry,
okay, so
but I was like, oh, that was so good.
No, this is all good, and it does tie in. If you didn't watch and catch the first 6, definitely watch those, because there was a lot of great information in those too. So that was number 7. I'm on the right number now. 8, run giveaways and contests.
Yes.
Yes. I love this. I do use this a lot with my clients. It's a great way to get people to share and grow your audience through a like-minded audience too, no less, because they're sharing with their friend that also needs that item. If you do it right, there's great software, KingSumo through AppSumo, but KingSumo or Rafflecopter, they're great. You can set it up so that people can come sign up and then do actions and get more points. You push the button to select your winner and boom, you're done. You have like your whole contest is run in a way that's totally, structured and beautiful, because you can actually have them watch a video or visit the page or like something or share something. Even in sharing an email, you can have the system do that, where it's going to share it out and capture that information. So I highly recommend figuring out what you can do for a contest, but be conscious of marketing that contest. If you just put something out there and just hope for the best, you're going to spend money on giving a prize away that you're like, I got 5 people. You have to market it. You have to go promote it, put it out in groups. You need to go push it so that other people will push it for you. We had one for Ramsey Hotel where they were submitting for their mom to get a vacation, and they were submitting their videos to us or photos of their moms. And we were able to use that user-generated content as posts, which drove back to the contest. So be smart, do the contest in a way that you're really putting the effort and time into it, and you'll get a lot out of it.
And one of those is, if you go back to number 5, where you collaborate with influencers. And just to be clear, influencers aren't just influencers. Like, when we talk about influencers, it could be anyone who is an expert, but they have a following, which is why we call them an influencer. They're somebody who influences a large crowd and impacts them. Okay. So if you don't have a huge crowd or you don't have a lot of people you can tap into, then this is really where you start to make relationships. Who can you partner with? Who can you bring value to their audience? Maybe you're providing the giveaway, the prize, but they are providing the audience, right? So think about how you can be you know, crafty or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say strategic.
That's the word, strategic. And get in front of more people so that you are able to grow your audience. Okay, so that was number 8. What's number 9?
Number 9, share success stories. Hello, share success stories. So testimonials, success stories, case studies, however you want to look at this. This is a huge way to get people to actually convert. Yeah. Like, you're going to get the lead. It's a third-party testimonial. Again, we talked about this in one of the previous ones, but that's social proof, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to share those. A lot of people aren't asking for the testimonials. They're not asking for the experience. I always end every call, and Kai knows this. Was this helpful for you? I end every call that way. And I can always go back, and almost every time somebody says something nice, and I could go back and say, hey, you mentioned this. Would you mind if I use this on my social media? Would you mind putting a post up on social media for me? Just give me a review. It's your honest opinion. But usually if I remember that they had a good experience with me, like, I send this to them and I say, hey, don't you remember that time you said something nice? Like, it's easy to do this. So if you're in the Zoom world, this is a no-brainer. If you have a product, and Kai, I know you have this with the physical products, like, you include like a note that says, come back and tell us how it was, right?
Yeah. And make it easy, right? So, a lot of people, they don't actually have a process for grabbing testimonials. Where Tessa, she'll say, was this useful? Was this helpful to you? Right? She has a process, and it's already in place in every call she has. So it's not just at the end of a user's journey or a client's journey, but it's throughout. So it can be after every meeting, you're closing up with that, because they are having different moments with you in their experience with you that you are allowing for these possibilities. Now, I want to address 2 things here. Is one, oftentimes we work with very well-established companies who do not have any way of collecting user testimonials. Like, they go back and then they have to go through the archives and they got to ask. So it's very important to create this process and something that is seamless. And that's a whole nother show in itself. But the second thing is, there's a lot of you who are like, I don't even have an audience. I haven't served anyone yet. That's okay. This is where you get that beta group together. You find some volunteers who can experience your service, your product, and it's in exchange for getting their honest feedback. It's in exchange for getting their review on your site. It's in exchange for whatever it is, but you are doing this to create those success stories. But also, it teaches you, like, okay, maybe that didn't go on, not getting a testimonial. That means I need to figure out, what did I do wrong? How can I make it better, so that when people are paying you, you've got all of these people coming in and giving you testimonials.
Oh, you have so much good information in there. So I just want to go back to 2 things. First of all, like, if you sense that something isn't going right, you already know that, especially if you have that pattern. Like, I know if I at the end of a call and somebody is not going to tell me a nice thing on that, there's something wrong with what happened. So I can reflect back on that and fix that situation, right? So
you're probably not going to ask.
I'm not going to ask. And I don't have a lot of those, but I have had times where I'm like, you know what, that was not how it should go. Like, I'm just going to ask another time, but I don't have it often, because I'm consciously creating the experience that's going to be positive, right? And I love this about Kai. She is so proactive. We take before pictures of working with a client. We plan on having an awesome case study. That is 100%. We want everyone to be happy that works with us. So we take case study pictures. We take, we ask what the problem was in the beginning. And then how you ask that in the end is, this was the problem. How did working with us change this for you. You know, it's going back to the problem. It's like tying it all into a beautiful bow, and they feel better, and they're more likely to give you a referral or a recommendation. So I think just planning with the end in mind on that for sure. And then I do have Go High Level is amazing. You all know that I love this software. You can go work with them directly, or you can message me and I can get you a better deal. But they have what is bird's eye reputation management software inside of it, which you would pay hundreds to have outside of it. And it actually can message people at the proper time and assess their situation. So it's more like a survey of how they're feeling and what's going on. So if you do a bad job and you have a 1 or 2, it goes directly to you, and you set the threshold on this, but it goes directly to you so you can address the problem. Whereas maybe a 3, 4, 5, you're okay with that going directly to Google. You decide, but I cannot tell you how much that can impact. You know, it can give you a temperature gauge on people before it's too late and you have a negative review. So that's like the opposite. And hopefully you never have any of those. You just have customer success stories. You're putting them out to social media and making sure that everyone gets them.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, we'll go on to the last 2. Nope. Last one. Last one. See, I mean, I clearly cannot count to 10 today, folks. So similar to what we're doing right now, live Q&A sessions or webinars, things that are going to engage new audience that people can tag. This is super helpful. So you can just push the live button when you're in Facebook or, you know, from your phone, or you can use streaming software like we do with StreamYard. We can go to a lot of places. I think we go to 3 right now. Right on our previous call, we were 4 locations. So you can do it once and you don't overthink it. So, you know, we go live, we get it done. That's our content for the whole week. This actually is going to be so much content, guys. That's 10 mini, hey Sean, good to have you, 10 potatoes is what I called these. Each one of these tips can be repurposed as an individual. We can make Jess Kai's face skinny on one if she's talking, and it could be me. So guys, repurpose, make sure that you're putting all of the content out, but do the potatoes, live sessions, webinars, something to help create content, to create that place for people like Sean or Tracy to come and consume.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Sean is amazing. His channel is over 100,000 on Instagram, I believe it is. So Sean, feel free. We're talking about lead gen. If you want to pop in any tips for us, feel free. Awesome. Well, that's all that we have for today. Is there anything you want to wrap up with, Kai, today?
Well, you know, I feel like I just want to go back to this. I stated this in the first video, but in case you didn't watch it and you're wondering, how are these lead gen opportunities when we're talking about leveraging SEO and optimizing video titles and thumbnails or creating high value content? Some of these you might get confused and be like, well, that's really about the product itself. And the reality is what you deliver is going to help you build a reputation. Right. So if you're from the gate, you're delivering high quality information, not high quality production, high quality information, right? You are providing people with solutions, not just clickbait, go back to video 1, part 1, I should say.
Yes.
But if you are doing these things, then you are going to get eyes on you. You're going to get people who want to come back. And then you're going to start to create shareable content that people can share out. So that's why these are so important, especially if you are a course creator or industry expert, because that is what you are selling. So it is so important that the product that you are selling is a reflection of that. And that's why we started there, because that's really where people like decide, do I want to keep watching or do I not want to? Will I follow you again? Will I watch another video from you again? That is why we started there, because lead gen can only go so far. So for example, we have a client that we are helping them with their DMs, like we're helping them reach out to people, right, with their outreach. And, you know, we can only do so much. We can go and talk to, 500 people, but if the other part of that, if whatever they deliver is not what the person wants, or is not high value, or is, whatever, that the experience isn't great, then it's not going to matter how many people we reach out to. It's not going to turn into a sale.
Right.
So a lot of us, and I bring this up because a lot of us do this portion where we're doing the work of trying to get in front of people, create the content, whatever, and we're wondering why it's not turning into a sale. And it's because you're not actually creating a lead with what you're producing, right? You're just connecting one more dot.
Yeah, it's just a connection. It's like a glimpse. You got a glimpse. You didn't get an audience. You didn't capture the audience. And we want to capture. And I mean, really, the trick to that is understanding your muse and understanding what their problems are. And I know we have an amazing worksheet on this, and we go through it in our programs too, but you have to understand where, you know, what their pain points are, what life looks like now, what life would look like with you, and be able to speak to that and have your messaging really connect with them. So all that to be said, I know we jammed a lot in today's show and shows because we decided to go on live again. So we have a workshop coming up. We just did a business clinic, which was free, completely free, and was, you know, we felt called to do that business clinic. We'll do them again soon, so don't worry about that. But next up is November 1st and 2nd. We have the Power Funnel Lab, and that is an event that's specific to helping you create the journey, less on the lead side. This is kind of one of those things that we'll refer back to and say, hey, now if you want to get the leads for your funnel.
We talk about filling it.
We do. We talk about inbound, outbound marketing and how to fill it. That's right. Yes, we do. Yeah. So we do have that link. It is free event. And we, again, you know, we talked about earlier, not just doing free events and giving a ton of value. This is one of the things that we feel people need in order to be successful at all the other things that we do. This is a gap filler to some extent. Like, you have to understand these things and kind of put your mind in that place in order for you to be able to make more money and have that solid flow of leads that actually turn into sales. So this is a great event. November 1st and 2nd, it's 2 hours a day. I think. 3. So we cram 3 hours. We cram a lot in, and we do have some people that will show you guys some of the testimonials and before and afters of people who went through our last one. But sign up now, because we cannot do this in a big, huge environment. It just doesn't work that way because we are very personal. We brainstorm with you. So sign up now so you don't miss it. All right. Well, that's it for today, which is like a ton for you to chew on. You'll see our little potatoes, our potato into fries. Those
are 2 full shows we did, guys. That's great.
2 full shows, like an hour.
So much content we can make.
So much content. I think we'll be good for a year. You guys are going to be, no, just kidding. Not a whole year. Maybe a month. All right. Thank you guys all. Make sure you hit the reminder bell so that you get notifications when we go live, or hashtag coach me if you want to be on. So you can come on to our shows. We go live in a group of 700,000 on Thursdays. Like, we do coach live, which gives you great exposure. And you got 2 awesome people. No, I'm just kidding. We'd love to work with people, though, to help grow their business. We'll see you all next time. Thank you. Bye. Okay, this time I really do want to do the music. I'm going to test it out. There's music in here. Okay, here we go.
Oh, there we go. Now it fades out. Is that how it's supposed to work?
Is it playing?
Yeah, it's playing.
Oh, yeah. They're watching us. We're testing. Okay, so we got background music.
Yeah, it's I feel like I'm gonna go to a quiet.
All right. No, they're all kind of quiet. Bye, y'all. This one sounds like a little kid one.